Hey guys, it's been a couple months since I did an actual channel update video, so I figured now is a good time as any to do that. So a couple of things. First off, you may notice that recording in a different format. We're actually in 4K now. That's because I went and picked up a new action camera to use for some of the flying videos. And also, something I've been saying we're going to be doing for quite some time now is finally going to be happening. Finally have an actual quote schedule that we're going to be discussing today. That's something I've been saying it's going to be coming, going to be coming, going to be coming. Well, it's finally coming. So we're going to be going over that, and just talking about generally what's going to be happening over the next few months. So let's dive into the schedule first.
So here's the schedule we'll be working with moving forward. On Mondays, we'll have our gaming day. Those will be our gaming videos. Where they come out, and they'll be alternating week to week, depending on what I feel like. Most part, it'll be two of the main game we're playing at the time, more than likely Minecraft, and then another video the following week, going back to Minecraft and so on. Right now, we're about to probably next couple of weeks move back to Destiny 2 with the expansion, and we'll be doing the 2 videos and then another video set up again. Thinking in the future potentially add 7 days at some point, but yeah, right now that's sort of up in the air. But in general, any gaming related videos will come out on Mondays. Now, at this time, I don't plan to start doing these again, but I'm going ahead and blocking off Tuesdays for tutorial videos. Just wanted to go ahead and block that off now, just because, and just in case I do any type of tutorial type of video in the foreseeable future, I just want to get that out there that those videos will come out on Tuesdays. Now, moving ahead a little in terms of planning for this year, something I have wanted to do for some time now will finally start coming out. I'm planning in late August, possibly early September, to start doing full build videos. These will differ from the build stream videos in that they will be significantly more edited and just won't be live content that I've just re-uploaded. So those will start in August to early September timeframe, and those will be coming out on Wednesdays. Like I said, some of this, the reason for the delay is that the first one, the review video is not going to be out until August. So obviously, I'm recording it right now, and I'm going to delay the release until August, in part because, in all honesty, I've already shot almost 200 gigs worth of video, and it's going to take me a while to go through and edit all of it. So moving forward, Thursdays, as they have been, is going to be the day that build stream videos come out. Those are, as I have said before, fairly easy to do. Obviously, if you want to watch them live, check out my Twitch channel, as that's where I do any of the live video content. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to say there, as we've been doing that for a little while now. On to Fridays now. No change there. Fridays will still be the day that review videos come out. Right now, they're still coming out bi-weekly, and will continue for the foreseeable future in that sort of setup. Depending on what happens early next year, well, probably actually more so mid to most likely late next year, early 2020, potentially I may be adding another type of review that will come out on the Fridays that the model kit reviews aren't coming out. I'm not going to go into that now because that's so far out that I'm not even going to worry about it. So I potentially may have something to fill the weekly slot there on the weeks that the model reviews don't come out. Now, moving to Saturday. Saturdays, I'm reserving for specials. These are going to be just sort of, I guess you could call oddball videos. These would be stuff like events and other type things I would, quote, consider like a special. So what would most likely happen, let's say, take IPMS for an example. I would, since those take place on a Saturday, I would obviously record the video, and then the following Saturday, once I've gone through and put the video together, the final product will come out the following Saturday. So that's how I plan to deal with those going forward. Next up, we have Sundays. Sundays, I'm reserving for all flying videos. Now, one thing to note is that I will also be premiering these videos on Twitch. I will then release the same video, albeit now in 4K, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get some of these videos under the 20 gig limit Twitch has for pre-uploaded videos. Will come out the following Sunday. So, again, if you want to, check it out and chat, check out my Twitch page, as I'll be putting up the flying videos a week before they come out here on YouTube. Albeit, they're probably going to be in lower quality. In fact, I'm thinking the one that's not coming out this coming Sunday, the 20th at dating time of this recording, but the following one, I'm probably going to have to drop it all the way down to 720 to get it to fit inside the 20 gig limit. But the flying videos here on YouTube will all be in 4K, so look forward to that. Now, last but not least is what I've sort of generally called other videos. These are videos that are not going to fall under any other categories. These would be things like the convention videos I've been doing and stuff like that. Those will be scheduled as needed. Exception of the convention videos, those are coming out one a month at the end of the month. Again, at the time of this recording, I definitely have enough to get through probably this year and a little bit into next year. But after that, it's going to be basically as I do them. So at the moment, there's really only two conventions I go to a year, namely Anime Expo and Comic-Con. Granted, Comic-Con is, given how hard it is to get tickets anymore, I wouldn't guarantee on that. And in all honesty, it's going to similarly be the same with Anime Expo. So that series may or may not continue. We'll see what happens, but those videos will come out monthly and will come out at the end of the month. So that's sort of the schedule I had in my mind for us to going forward, and obviously would appreciate any thoughts on it.
So with that out of the way now, moving on to a couple other things. One, as I said, since we now have a 4K camera, I'm going to try to start doing review videos using it. Obviously, have not done one at the time of this recording. So we'll see what happens. One problem with this camera is that when you're in 4K mode, it will only do wide angle, so you do get a little bit of fisheye. Right now I have it zoomed in a little bit, so that seems to at least take care of some of that, so that's something I'm going to have to play with a little. So we'll see what happens there. Another issue I discovered with this camera is not so much the camera itself, it's when I'm trying to edit the videos. And that I do have a bit of a question for everybody, or anyone really who can potentially answer this, is when I'm editing these videos, I will first obviously have them all on OneDrive. As I set up one of the things I got when I also got this camera was a separate hard drive, so that I can just have all the video files there, and so to keep everything together, and so that basically make it so that I'm only using space on that new drive for videos, as I was eating up my other hard drives trying to put the videos there. So my question is this: when I'm editing some of these flying videos, because most of them are going to be an hour or more long, one of the things I found is that basically they are taking days to write the in file in 4K. I mean, last one I did, and it was a shorter video, about an hour long. Took about 48 hours to render. So my question is this: even though, and just as a heads up, I'm actually, this camera shoots in 100 megabits. I'm writing the video files at 35 megabits. So I know it's not that. But my question is this: right now I'm both reading and writing the video files off the same hard drive. My first question is, will writing the in file to a separate hard drive potentially reduce the write time, or will it really make a noticeable difference if they're both mechanical hard drives? My second question then is, if writing to a second hard drive will reduce the time, will then writing to an SSD make enough of a difference to warrant the cost of adding on? As I said, these files are taking days to write. I mean, I've got a cross-country file. I'm figuring it's probably going to take 72 to... No, it's going to take like 4 or 5 days to write the file. And, honestly, running my computer that long is probably not the best idea long term. So, my question is, will, going to an SSD for the write drive and just, maybe getting a 500 gig drive, as that should more than do me, make a difference to warrant the cost? Because I'm honestly thinking, if all the flying I'm going to be doing for my commercial training, because I plan to record everything, if I think about what it's going to cost in electricity alone, as well as the fact that it really eats up a lot of my system resources. And my computer, by the way, isn't that old, but even then, just how Premiere is, it's eating up system resources. So I can do some stuff, but the computer is basically down for the day. So that's something I'd like to find out. Is there enough of a difference to warrant the added cost? Because these files are just taking absolutely forever to write. So that's about it as far as stuff I wanted to go over today. I almost forgot, longer term. So this year is going to be a little weird, especially towards the end of it. As I said, I'm into commercial flight training now, and to look at the syllabus, it may not take as long as I was thinking it would. Obviously, still have to deal with the scheduling monster that it's just become an absolute nightmare headache. But even with that, I'm thinking I may be able to get this done a lot faster than I had planned. I'm thinking if everything goes right, I might have this done August, September time frame and have my instructor, a month or so after that. So that's going to make the end of the year and into next year really interesting. Obviously, changing jobs is going to obviously cause a bit of headaches just because getting into the new feel of the whole thing, but also just because that's going to be a pretty major time suck, especially if I'm getting full-time hours. In fact, talking to my instructor the other day, he was running a 14-hour day. So that's going to make things a little more interesting going forward into next year. Worst case scenario, or put this another way, absolute worst case scenario would be I basically take next year off. I really don't put up any content. And the advantage of this would be, obviously, I'd be able to, save up some content. I'll try and get on and do build streams and all that, but yeah, there would basically be no content from me for that year. This is one of those things that, would be, like I said, the worst case scenario, just because if I'm, working like 12, 14-hour days, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this and sleep, and yeah, so that would be worst case scenario. So the middle ground scenario would be I take like the first 6 months off, like I did, I want to say 2015, and we run things sort of like that. And best case scenario would be, like I did this year, take January off and continue in February. Overall, I would still, in all these scenarios, still try to be making content, but it would just be, how I save it up versus, a regular release schedule like we just discussed, or a hiatus period. Fortunately, that's far enough out that I'm not going to worry too much about it at this point, just because there's enough unknowns that could potentially derail that plan that I'm not going to worry about it essentially at this point. But it is something we do need to keep our eye on the horizon about. So yeah, next year's going to be interesting, to say the least. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, we finally got a schedule. Going forward to the rest of the year, could potentially have some interesting changes, and next year is right now completely and totally up in the air. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say this time. So until next time.